Hello everyone, this is a tutorial in response to a comment by Anubis X1 on the Dalek Fire Test video. He asked, how do I create the laser beams coming from the Dalek? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the one that was in the video. If you would like, I can show you how to do the multiple shots, the Gatling effect, and the special weapons, although the special weapons is pretty much the same but with a couple of tweaks. Okay, so here's Dalek, and we want to give him a weapon. He has a weapon but he can't fire it. So the first thing we want to do is create the lights, and if you're not familiar with Cinema 4D, I'm not really the person to ask because I don't really know what I'm doing myself. But up here you've got all the presets, you've got the objects, you've got the splines, hypernerbs, things like that, arrays, emitters, but the one we want to look at today is this light here. So click that, and we want to change it to visible, and we want to change the type from omni to parallel spot. You see that gives us a tube, but it's facing the wrong way and it's way too big. Before we deal with that, we need to open the Dalek and we need to find where the gun is, and we need to place it into the gun object. Now if you click the gun, you see that it is centered on the ball pivot. So we want to 0 all the coordinates. I'm pretty sure there's a faster way to do that, but well, it serves. And we want to change the H rotation from 0 to 90. So you see it's facing the right way, but at the minute the Dalek is firing a way too big a beam. So we want to drag that out, and before we do anything else, we want to drag the laser to the very tip of the gun. This will be evident when you've got the finished gun. Sorry, finished laser. Next, we want to change the fall off to inverse square, and just leave it at 500 for now. We want the visibility from the inner distance to be the same as the outer distance, so 500 and 500. These will all change in a bit, so don't worry about being too accurate. And all the settings here, well, most of them, apart from the parallel spot and the visible and the inverse square, are all up to you. The inverse square, the parallel spot, and the visibility are all needed to create the effect. Okay, so we need to make the gun smaller, so you can either click and drag these orange dots, but that's not really that accurate, so we can go to details, and we want to change it to 2. There we go, and if we do a quick render, you can see the Dalek now has a gun, but it doesn't look very interesting, and it's also not bright enough. I'll just show you what I mean when I said to move it at the end. If I moved it all the way back, you can see that ever so slightly it comes out of the gun. Now when we add another light to create the blue effect in a moment, that will be even more evident. So to do that, I want to go back to the General tab and change the intensity from 100% to 250. If we do a render, see the beam is much stronger and it looks a lot better, but it still doesn't look like a typical laser beam. Now it depends what type of Dalek you've got. The 2005 Daleks and all Daleks in general tend to fire a blue ray, but if you're doing the Imperial, you might want to do a red or maybe an orange, because that's what they do in Remembrance. But it's all up to you. All the colours. I mean, you might want to do a black, you might want to do a pink, as seen in Second Empire. Okay, so you've just seen me click and drag to create a new light, or, so I'll do that again, you can click the light, you can press Control C, Control V, and it creates a new light, so you want to drag that down there. Or if you're on a Mac, it's Command C, Command V, which I'm on a Mac. So, okay, so the new light is exactly the same as the first one. We want to go to details and we want to change the outer radius to 3. So now it's a little bit bigger, which again is why I moved it to the end of the gun. Let's go back to the General tab and we want to change the colour to a blue. Let's have, that looks nice. I don't have many preset colours I use, apart from when I'm copying from models to models. Okay, so if we have a look at that now, that's looking like a laser beam. Also looks like a lightsaber. It actually doesn't look... It is centered, I think it's just the way the cameraman is. Right, and now we've got a problem, because you can see the gun is way too long. Daleks are powerful, but I don't think they can fire this far. The standard beams, I've made a rule that tend to fire twice the length, or maybe 3 times the length of a Dalek. The special weapons tend to fire 4 to 5 times, but if they've got the single shot, then that can go way further because it's a free range shot. So we need to change the length, and go to inner distance and outer distance. Change it from 500 to 50, and again, no, not 2000. And you can see we've still got the length of the beam, and that's because we need to change the inverse square to 250 as well. And sorry, we need to do that on all of them. Being an idiot. There is a... Oh. If you wanted to do that all at once, you can just click shift click both of them and then change the values, because the values are the same. So if we then do another render, our Dalek now has a laser beam. Some people might not like the fact that it's just goes flat, but it's good enough. I mean, if you've got it piercing something, or if you've got, like in the shot I did, you don't have the end of the beam on camera, then it looks fine. This isn't exactly 3 lengths of a Dalek, but it's close enough. It looks nice. So we are almost done. I want to shift and click the 2 lights, open the Dalek, place it back into the gun. Now I've got mine set up with Espresso. I've done a demonstration on how to do that, but if you'd like me to do a tutorial about how to set up the Dalek, again, this is only for Cinema 4D. I'm not sure because I'm not too familiar. I think Lightwave or 3ds Max have something similar. I'm not exactly sure about it, don't quote me on that. So now the lights are in the gun, and if you click, and if you want to change the values of the gun, say if you want to, if you want to animate the gun, the best way to do it is to click both of them, make sure you're in the visibility tab, and you see these little things here, they're animation key points. So you want to take them down to 0. Fine. You don't, for animation, you don't have to change the inverse square. Okay, and then you want to click both of them and pressing Control, click those, and you see those are lit up. Those are given as an animation key point. Then you want to drag your whatever this is. Just drag it to 45. Again, this is all optional. Change these. You can't change the inner without first changing the outer. Control Shift. Sorry, Control click. And what would have been better is if I had also done the inverse square, because you're not going to be able to see them. Okay, now I've got the gun firing, so it takes roughly half the timeline, about say 2 seconds, because it's on, no, just under a second, because the default is on 30 frames a second. So then we want to drag it to 50, which is 5 frames, which is I don't know. And then we want to zero everything out again. click play, and it's going very slow because it's not playing in real. Well, it's not playing at real speed, but see, it fires and then quickly retracts, because you could do the same with the intensity, but it wouldn't look, because if you look at a beam, it shoots out, it doesn't all disappear, which is what you get if you use the intensity. So that's it, that's how easy it is. As I said, if you want me to do more tutorials, I can cover anything from weapons fire to animation. I'm going to attempt to maybe animate this guy killing an Imperial, because I've got something quite cool I can show you. I have got an Imperial new series Dalek, well, 2005 Dalek. Basically, this is a standard new series Dalek. Stop calling them the new series. This is a standard 2005 Dalek with the base changed to a Imperial, and I might change the lights. I'm not sure. I kind of like these lights, but he looks quite cool, I think. These are using a combination of MechMaster's textures and my own, and something I found online. I think it looks cool. Thank you for all the suggestions, by the way, on the fillers video. I've taken them on board, and I've actually just written a script. It's a very short story, 4 parts, probably 4 minutes each, that's going to go in between the releases of a Second Empire episode. They're going to be featuring these guys, which is why I'm animating them, because I haven't really done anything with my 2005 Daleks. I might do 2005 Daleks versus the new Paradigm Daleks, because I kind of wrote a story where the 2005 Daleks weren't all eradicated with the last of the guys that were on that saucer, and they've been in like mining outposts, and they're slowly coming around to find themselves hunted, and it's all about them trying to find new ways to fight the Daleks. So the abominations, as they call them, because they're awful. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough rambling from me. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.